Therefore, UEFA is launching its latest Respect campaign against online abuse today, focused on awareness, education and monitoring. And that will continue even after the final whistle here at the Women's Euro. Of the FA Inclusion Advisory Board. Thank you for coming up and speaking about what is such an important topic. Michele, let's start with you. Why did UEFA specifically choose this issue, the Euros? As somebody who has experienced online abuse, why is it so important, this campaign, and to speak about?
Move to concrete actions. The fantastic Women's Euro will be for us an opportunity as the kickoff of this process. We are planning to have next 4 years to monitoring and reporting the online abuse in all UEFA competition finals, our 19 competition finals, men's, women, youth, big tournaments, all our competition will have the same platform. We are working. The platform will work with a monitoring phase, reporting phase, and remedy phase. Which is very, very important. This is the kickoff, the test, the pilot test for us. Is important to starting now, and to have this process in place in the 4 years, and we will try to change them. The idea is to have moved 3 phases: the awareness phase with the Real Scares campaign. The second is the education phase, means that we need to engage all our 55 member associations in Cascada, with the Cascada effect, to apply the same system, the same process at domestic level, also through the clubs. ECA is on board in this project.
Even like now, I'm a bit anxious about talking about it, just because every time you have to talk about it, it brings up scars. I think the reason why I wanted to get involved was I never ever want anyone to go through it, or we never want anyone else to, me personally, feel how I felt after online abuse. And it wasn't just one occasion, it was multiple occasions, and quite bad. And I think then me personally and everyone involved, we have a responsibility to educate people, to explain to people, and not necessarily talk about interventions, but actually stop it. You know, why do we do it? We've already spoken about it being a really difficult world that we live in, and we want to be happy, inclusive, embracive, supportive, champion one another. And online abuse is a terrible thing that everyone goes through, and well, not everyone, but people go through, and it just has to stop. And I'm so passionate about it because I never ever want any human to feel the way I felt. And we saw in their scars, it leaves people with lasting scars.
Your advice?
Talk if you can. Sometimes scars, they take a while to kind of show, and then to be able to talk about it. But I think to talk to someone if you've been abused, hopefully you haven't, but the thing that I keep trying to get my message across is when you go to do it, stop, think about it. And I think these campaigns are really good because it shows you the detriments of what it does. Don't be a keyboard warrior, don't hide behind it. There are consequences, there are detriments, and I think we have to talk about this to stop it. And for me, that's the biggest intervention, is before you send something, think there's a human that's going to see that, you know, and think, would you want your family member to hear or see those things? No, so let's just stop it.
Because I feel now this is about zero tolerance. We know education is important, of course we do. But we know as well the tech companies, you know, they are not above law, they're not above regulation, and there has to be accountability. There has to be very, very strong sanctions that hurt them, so they understand the impact you know, that they are having on people, whether it's sexism, misogyny, racism, anti-discrimination. They must realise the impact that that effectively they've got carte blanche to do. So, moving forward, you know, one's hoping by sort of this summer, actually, there'll be another report made. And realistically, you know, if we look probably towards the next 18 to 24 months, one is hopeful. You know, we have to be positive. It's being driven by a lot of really important people that want to really make that substantive change. That there's obviously going to be a legislative framework in place. Being discussed, and I hopefully in the final draft it actually will have that key stipulation that potentially social media companies could be fined 10% of their global revenues. Now, you know there are multi-billion-pound businesses, so that for me is very, very important. And also designated executives on those respective tech companies to be held potentially criminally responsibly as well. So what you're doing is you're putting together strong, serious sanctions in place that's protecting, you know, these young people, because I remember all what's going on in social media, it reminds me of my generation. We've been told that to our face. Now they've got a different way to do it. And I think